From Cerritos College in Norwalk, California, it's the 8th annual James Sampson Fairfax State Preview Classic, brought to you by Ball is Life. It's the game of the year in prep basketball as the number 1 ranked team in the country, the Chino Hills Huskies, take on the nationally ranked Bishop Montgomery Knights. Hello again, everybody. I'm Paul Westfall alongside national grassroots editor and basketball writer extraordinaire Ronnie Flores. And Ronnie, let's start with Chino Hills. It's the story of the nation. What makes this system successful?
Chino Hills, Run GMC, Malo Jallo, and Lonzo Ball. They get out, and they've been playing together so long. They know each other so well. They know where they are on the court, and it all starts with Lonzo Ball. He's averaging a triple-double. He's one of the best players in the nation, and everybody knows their role, and he's the quarterback and the general. They've been over 100 points 11 times through 20 games, and they're averaging over 100 points on the season. Something has to give today because Bishop Montgomery's only giving up 46.1 points per game.
All right, then let's talk about the Knights of Bishop Montgomery. They, too, are nationally ranked. They, too, are regarded as one of the top teams in California. What gives the Knights a realistic chance to spoil Chino Hills' dream season tonight?
What gives Bishop Montgomery a chance is they're an excellent help and recover defense. They contest the three-point shot. They're well coached. They have experience. They're last year's CIF Southern Section Open Division champs, and 2 of those best players are coming back with that experience. So we say Chino Hills is in the driver's seat as far as they're the number 1 team, but Bishop Montgomery has what Chino Hills wants, and that's a section title.
All right, let's talk about a couple of the key players tonight. When you talk about Chino Hills, you have to talk about perhaps the National Player of the Year, one of the most transcendent players I've seen in a quarter of a century. That young man, it's Lonzo Ball.
Definitely. Lonzo's a good rebounder. He's a good shooter. But his best thing he does is see the floor, set up his teammates, and his teammates have confidence in him. He's averaging 25.4 points, 11.5 rebounds, 10.9 assists, and this is the number 1 team in the country. They played a national schedule. They've won 3 holiday tournaments, and he was the MVP in all 3.
All right, for Bishop Montgomery, this team is loaded with talent as well, and perhaps their premier player is a young man that comes with a pretty good basketball pedigree from his family, and that's Ethan Thompson.
Definitely. Ethan's a junior. He's averaging 17.2 points per game. He's a great shooter. His brother plays at Oregon State, Stevie Thompson Jr., and obviously their father is Stevie Thompson Sr., the former Crenshaw and Syracuse great.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups. An overcapacity crowd. They have been turning people away here at Cerritos College. The starters for Chino Hills, it's Elijah Scott, LaMelo Ball, Lonzo Ball, and LeAngelo Ball. Yes, they are indeed all brothers. And Onyeka Okongwu is the big man in the middle, the 6'9 freshman. Let's take a look at the Knights of Bishop Montgomery. Ethan Thompson, Jordan Shackle, David Singleton, Fletcher Tynan, and Johnny Hunt, one of the best freshman point guards in the country. Bishop Montgomery takes a backseat to no one. They are the defending Open Division champions in the CIF Southern Section, and we are ready for the game of the year. It's Chino Hills in the blue, green, and silver, while Bishop Montgomery is in the white with the black and gold trim. This should be end-to-end action. If you haven't seen Chino Hills play, they play reminiscent to an old guy like me of the way that Loyola Marymount used to play under Paul Westhead, where they throw long length of the court passes, they rebound the basketball and try to get down the floor as quickly as possible. They take a lot of quick threes in their offense, and this is a team that is really exciting to watch, while Bishop Montgomery, their job tonight, see if they can disrupt the rhythm and tempo of this exciting Chino Hills team. You mentioned it, Ronnie. They scored over 100 points 11 times. That's crazy. And here goes Chino Hills off the tip. It's Lonzo Ball missing, and the rebound is grabbed by Fletcher Tynan, and here come the Knights.
Bishop Montgomery wants to take care of the ball and make Chino Hills defend, not get into a helter-skelter game. Gets into a helter-skelter game, Chino Hills has the big advantage tonight.
But easier said than done, isn't it? You think to yourself, well, we're going to slow down the tempo, we're not going to take quick shots, but they sort of lure you into playing their style.
Correct. You come out and you see, well, say these 3 brothers, you have two 14-year-olds in the lineup. Well, let's try, we'll see what we got. But these guys can score like no other team in the high school ranks right now.
Thompson behind the back and scored.
And there's Lonzo looking up real quick to see if anybody's open. The one thing you're noticing about Lonzo, he keeps his head up all the time.
Lonzo Ball, pretty looking 3, but it misses. LeAngelo with the rebound. Lonzo kicks it back out to LiAngelo, who misses, but Okongwu with the rebound. Third opportunity, no good, and the rebound is ripped out of there by Okongwu, and it won't go.
Chino Hills on the boards in this first possession.
5 chances for the Huskies. Inside it goes to Scott. First time that LaMelo Ball touches it. He's a freshman with unlimited range. The runner off the back rim, no good. Here come the Knights with Johnny Hunt. Behind the back to Thompson to score.
Here we go, down the court.
Back the other way, steal by the Knights. Here comes Shackle, pull up 3 ball, no good. Rebound grabbed by Okongwu.
He's only a freshman, folks, Okongwu.
Quick shot for Jello off the back rim, no good. In the 3-ball game, not working so far for Chino Hills, but they don't care. They know it's a 4-quarter game, and they do not get rattled whatsoever. Thompson on the drive.
Ethan Thompson playing great here early, slashing driver, and he gets the assignment on Lonzo Ball.
Jello backing in, draws some contact and misses, and Tynan's got the rebound for the Knights. First 2 minutes going all Bishop Montgomery.
You see the ball movement there by Bishop Montgomery.
Tynan draws some contact, and a foul is going to be on Elijah Scott. That'll be Scott's first personal foul. Now, Chino Hills only goes about 6 players deep. They will go 7 deep when Andre Ball, a cousin of the Ball brothers, returns from injury, and Coach Steve Bake told me he'll be back perhaps as early as next week. But this is the team that you would think foul trouble would be an issue for Chino Hills, but it hasn't been so far.
Definitely not. Lonzo Ball played a big game with 4 fouls against Redondo at the Max Rep Holiday Classic, the championship game, and they still pulled out the win. The player who comes off the bench and gives them about 5 points per game is Cameron Shelton, the sophomore guard.
Tynan misses the first and the second, and look at that quick pass off the rebound, and Chino Hills is up the floor and launching a quick 3.
Not dropping. Shackle with the rebound.
Jello missed. Rebound comes off to Bishop Montgomery. Singleton lets fly. Back rim no good. I think we're going to get a push off against Fletcher Tynan, number 35, which gives me a chance to set our officials. No, they're going to call it against Chino Hills instead. That foul going to go against LaMelo Ball. That's his first.
Looked like he pushed Thompson underneath there. That's what the ref saw.
Okay. Inbounding the ball, Johnny Hunt. Tynan on the drive. Absorbs the contact and misses, but look at the freshman Okongwu controlling the paint.
That's what Okongwu does. He's only 14 years old, but he doesn't get rattled. He stays disciplined on the defensive end. He's really helped them. Offensive
rebound for Elijah Scott. Missed the putback, but draws a 2-shot foul. And now that gives me a chance to set our officials, as that's the first foul going to go against Jordan Shackle. That was Kenny Wu with the call. He's joined by Al Winters and Buggy Boulard. And I asked the referees before the game if they've been training for this one, and they all laughed at me because you're going to have to have your speed game on tonight to keep up with these 2 teams.
Eli Scott good on both free throws. Eli Scott gives them about 14 points and 9 rebounds a game and a physical presence. He works really hard and gives this team a lot.
Pressure defense from Chino Hills broken easily, and Thompson tried to step through the double team. Gets it back and is erased by Okongwu.
That's what Okongwu does.
Catch and shoot 3-ball. So far, not a long-range shot made by Chino Hills yet. We've played 3 minutes. There's a good look at Doug Mitchell, longtime coach for Bishop Montgomery in his 27th year. They have won 5 CIF titles under Mitchell and 3 state titles. Catch and shoot for Shackle. He has 25-foot range on his jump shot. One of the leading scorers on the Knights gets his first long-range shot to go. It's 9-2. Oh, creative shot by LiAngelo Ball. Jello with a little baby hook in the middle of the lane. It's 9-4.
Jello Ball can make that shot. He's very comfortable shooting that half hook in the lane. David Singleton on the wing there.
Out to Shackle, back to Singleton. Quick catch and shoot. Got it. Singleton's first 3-ball of the night. He averages 17 a game. It's 12-4. Bishop Montgomery with the early lead. Jello backing his way in, can't get it to go. He is very strong, and he thought he was fouled that time. Here comes Thompson. Shackle might have got away with a walk. Takes it all the way to score. Shackle's got 5 in a row, and it's 14-4. Scott score the basket for Elijah Scott off a nice pass from Lonzo Ball. We're going to get a foul on the press against Chino Hills, and it's going to go against Mello. Second foul on the freshman.
Well, you'll see here, Bishop Montgomery's up 14-6. You think, wait, Chino Hills, what are they going to do? They can score quickly, so they're not too worried so much about the percentage. They take 20 to 30 more shots than their opponent, and that's how they've gone to 21-0. And obviously, Bishop Montgomery's got a 21-0 in a different style.
Singleton, he hits 2 in a row. David Singleton's got 6. It's 17-6 Bishop Montgomery, and we've got our first timeout. Steve Bake would like to talk it over. Ronnie, Bishop Montgomery, I don't know if they can play any more efficiently than they've done this first 4.5 minutes. We'll take a quick break, and we'll talk about that when we come back. It's Bishop Montgomery by 11 right after this. Back to action at Cerritos College. I'm Paul Westphal. Alongside me is Ronnie Flores. It's an early lead for Bishop Montgomery, but it didn't take long for LeAngelo Ball to get his first 3 out of the timeout, and it's 17-9. Turnover.
There's Lonzo surveying the field, see what he does. He goes all the way for an easy 2.
Oh, splits the defenders with a little hesitation. Bounce, and it's 5 quick points for Chino Hills out of the timeout, and Bishop Montgomery wants to talk it over. 3 minutes to go here in the first, and Bishop Montgomery up by 6.
Sorry about that, Paul. Doug Mitchell has some choice words for his team right off that bat. He pulled his players over, and he's giving it to them right now. You got to get back. You got to stay at home. It's kind of like playing football. You got to know your man and the ball with this team. Chino Hills, you cannot let up for at least 1 second. They'll be by you and score a quick 2 points.
An over-capacity crowd. Cerritos College seats about 2,500, but you can't shoehorn another person in here. I'm sure they were turning people away for this tremendous matchup here in the Fairfax State Preview Classic. Number 1 nationally, Chino Hills. Number 7 nationally, Bishop Montgomery, and it has lived up to the billing through the first 5 minutes. Pressure defense for the Huskies.
And these are the 2 top teams in the state of California, Cal High Sports top 20 rankings.
Singleton, his first miss from the same spot. Lonzo Ball with the rebound. Zoe with the basketball. High screen roll for Okongwu, who rises up above the defense and finishes. The fantastic freshman gets on the board, and it's 17-13. 7 in a row for Chino Hills. Tynan is denied. That's Chino Hills basketball, the outlet to Mello. And he banks it up and in. 9 in a row for Chino Hills, and it's 17-15. Number 1 is A.J. Kirby into the game for the first time for the Knights. Shackle. Something Chino Hills, I think, is underrated is that they really defend. They help and recover really well. You seldom get long to get an open look. You better get rid of it in a hurry, and that time Kirby does.
And you can see there, Bishop Montgomery has very good shooters. Team-wise, everybody can shoot the rock a little bit. There's no weak links.
Jello backs Kirby down and misses the fadeaway. Shackle up ahead to Jalen Washington. This is Singleton. Shackle foul. That's going to go against, no, don't count the basket. That's going to go against LeAngelo Ball, and that's Jello's first. Run GMZ, they call this team, and that's because of Mello Ball, Zoe Ball, and Jello Ball. The 3 brothers, this is the only time they'll get to play together, Ronnie, with Zoe being a senior and Mello ahead for the easy one to score.
And if you can see that play, Lonzo gets control and just taps it with his left hand. You just can't teach that type of ability.
Remarkable psychic kind of basketball from the Ball brothers. They always know where the others are. Rebound to Scott. Here they come. Mello missed it, but LiAngelo missed the putback. And we're going to get a foul on the rebound. Strong rebound by Jeff Muir, number 12, the 6'4 junior forward into the game. Contributes off the defensive glass. Okongwu with the foul. Things have settled down a little bit after a frenetic first few minutes. And this Cerritos College gym was absolutely rocking. Bishop Montgomery got off to the fast start. They are up 17-6, but Chino Hills, they are unflappable. They know that it's a 32-minute game, and they're going to get theirs. And they've come back to cut it within 2 and have a chance to take the lead here. Pass eludes Okongwu, but LiAngelo Ball knocks down a 3, and Chino Hills has their first lead. Last 36 seconds of the first quarter, 20-19. Foul going to go against Lonzo Ball.
And that play there kind of reminiscent of last year in the state final. Lonzo Ball fouled out on a play he went for the steal, and it changed the direction of that game late in the fourth quarter against Monte Vista Danville at Hoss Pavilion at Cal. And Chino Hills lost that game. And I think that has given them a lot of incentive, and it may be a reason why they are playing as they are now. Not so much their style and whatnot, but the motivation of that.
Shackle a deep 3, no good. Zoe. Scott gets it back and tips it up and in. Run on the floor, that's what the Huskies do. It's 22-19, last shot time for Bishop Montgomery. Elijah Scott's got 6 here in the first quarter. Singleton finds Thompson for 3, no good. Rebound chased down by Crawford. This'll count. Score the basket for Singleton at the buzzer. A 3-pointer by David Singleton draws us even at the end of 1. It's Chino Hills 22, Bishop Montgomery 22. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with a thriller in just a moment. Look at the overcapacity crowd here at Cerritos College. We're in Norwalk, California. I'm Paul Westphal. Alongside me is Ronnie Flores, and it's 22-22 in an exciting first 8 minutes. And Ronnie, these are the Fab 50 national rankings, and you can see why this game has had so much attention.
Correct. Bishop Montgomery's moved from 11-7 this week, and obviously you say, well, why are they 19-0, 19-0 coming to the week, and now 21-0? It's because Chino Hills played a national schedule. They won 3 major holiday tournaments with the big 83-82 win over Montverde Academy in the quarterfinals of the City of Palms Classic. Then you go to the state rankings, everybody locally. Number 1, number 2 in the state, Chino Hills, Bishop Montgomery. These 2 teams could potentially meet 2 more times in the Southern Section Open playoffs and the SoCal Open Regional.
There's a lot of quality teams on that list, though, that would like to have something to say about that. And the Open Division, which was created a couple of years ago, has resulted in some tremendous matchups come CIF Southern Section playoff time, and this year will be no exception. Inbounding the basketball is Bishop Montgomery to start the second quarter. This is Johnny Hunt, the freshman.
And that play at the end of the first quarter, the 3 of Singleton, was very big because they were on the ropes there for a few minutes. Bishop Montgomery, they took in a big lead, and Chino Hills did what they do, get out and get simple shots, and kind of rattled their cage a little bit. They were mishandling the ball in the backcourt, but that extra hustle play led to that Singleton 3-pointer, his 3rd of the game.
Thompson inside. Okongwu just won't let you get to the rim. Thompson dishes to Tynan. The ball is stripped away and out of bounds, last touched by Chino Hills, so it will remain Bishop Montgomery basketball. Shackle back in for Bishop Montgomery, and Tynan will take a rest. Bishop Montgomery definitely deeper, Ronnie. They're going to go 9, maybe 10 players deep. But you will see the big 3 of Thompson, Shackle, and Singleton out there collectively most of the time.
Yes.
Discussion as to whether they're going to reset the shot clock, and they were not supposed to, and it is now back to 17 seconds on the shot clock for the Knights.
And I mentioned earlier that it was Monte Vista Dam, but it was actually San Ramon Valley. And it's interesting because that game, it was a battle of 2 third-place teams in the league. We talk about Chino Hills being the #1 team in the country, but in the Baseline League, which they moved over from the Sierra League, they haven't won the league yet. So last year they played in that state final. They didn't go to the open division, and they lost to another third-place team in one of the strongest leagues in Northern California. So that kind of gives you some perspective. Bishop Montgomery has won the open division, but Chino Hills is the #1 team, but is looking for that first CIF Southern Section and state title.
Singleton hangs, and it rims out. Rebound put back for the freshman. Will Crawford gets on the board. Pull up 3 ball, got it. That's Alonzo Ball. Zoe with his first long distance shot. A remarkable player. Crawford may have turned his ankle and might have to come out of the game. We've got a brief stoppage of play while Will Crawford limps over to the sideline, replaced by Fletcher Tynan. But people who have asked me who haven't seen Lonzo play, I said he's got the vision and the passing of Jason Kidd, but he's got the range of Reggie Miller, and that's such a rare combination. He is indeed one of the most unique players I have ever seen.
There he goes again to his brother.
Perfectly timed pass. Jello strong, absorbs the contact and lays it up and in. 27-24 Chino Hills. That's their biggest lead. Shackle answers with a 3 ball.
That's what Bishop Montgomery does good. They shoot well as a team. Look at Jello Ball there on the catch. That's one thing that's underrated. Yeah, Lonzo can throw the 80-foot, 70-foot pass, but you have to have somebody catch the ball, and Jello does a good job. Eli Scott with the 3 there. That's a big shot.
That is a huge shot, sometimes forgotten about. The 6'4 junior is a key to this team's success. He's outstanding on the glass and a terrific defender, but he also can score the ball. Shackle pulls up again, but misses and high above the crowd. Lonzo Ball with the rebound. The hit ahead is for Scott. One-on-one with Tynan. Gets his own miss, and he'll draw a 2-shot foul.
And you see Scott's strength there. That's what he brings to this Chino Hills Huskies team. Intensity, wide shoulders, wide body. He's a load underneath, and he's a great finisher.
Foul on Shackle is his second. Eli Scott at the free throw line hits the first free throw. Elijah Scott is his name, but likes to go by Eli. He has terrific hands. You talked about that. These guys, we talk about Zoe's ability to pass the basketball, his uncanny ability to see the floor, but the other guys have to catch it. And these guys all have soft hands.
And I think that's what UCLA is going to see under Coach Alford. Oh, Ethan Thompson with the baseline 2-hander.
Ethan Thompson brings the crowd to their feet. 31-29, Chino Hills by 2. Rejected! Jeff Muir says, get it out of here.
Ethan Thompson, baseline, not only goes for the block and he puts it over the top. What a play by Ethan Thompson. And as you're going to see, you see his brother Stevie Thompson, a little more finesse player. Ethan's becoming a very strong player.
He was in heavy traffic and he still was able to slam it over the top of Okongwu. Third try for Chino Hills. They are terrific. They've got the floor so spread because you got to guard these guys out to about 30 feet that the offensive rebound capabilities are vast. And they get a lot of second and third chance opportunities, but Mello lost the handle. They're going to see if it was touched by Bishop Montgomery. They're going to say it was, to the dismay of Coach Mitchell. It happened right in front of him.
And to touch up on earlier what I was saying, Stevie Thompson at Oregon State is a little bit more of a thinner guy. Ethan's going to develop, and he's strong, and you can see there on that baseline dunk, he's coming into his own as a complete player. He was, as a freshman, he was more of a shooter and facilitator, but now he can really score around the basket.
I saw him score when I saw them against Cantwell Sacred Heart and Long Beach Poly. Against Long Beach Poly, he was magnificent. He sat out the Cantwell game, but against an athletic team in Long Beach Poly, Ethan Thompson scored in a variety of manners.
Quick out of bounds. Lonzo to Jello.
33-29. Oh, slipping on the floor is Jalen Washington, but coming to the rescue is Thompson, but it's stripped away from him. And Zoe, the hit ahead, goes to Scott, drops it off. 3 ball on the way, no good by Jello, and Jalen Washington has the rebound.
And Jallo will keep firing it. You may think, oh, well, he's not cold, but he can get hot at any minute. These guys have no conscience and they have short memories, and that's what you want from shooters.
Fletcher Tynan powers it down the baseline and lays it up and in traffic. And as is usually the case, even after a made basket, Chino Hills tries to go down the floor in a hurry, and that pass just a little bit too far. And that's what reminds me of the West Head Loyola Marymount teams, was they, even after made baskets, that first pass would be three-quarter length court. And they don't mind if you score, because they believe we're going to score more. Thompson hangs and scores despite being challenged by the bigger Okongwu. Ethan's got 10. We're even at 33.
Great game so far, Paul.
Magnificent, living up to all the hype. Okongwu with a giant finish. And the crowd is on their feet. Tynan walks. And that's the defensive presence of Okongwu again. Tynan had the ball, had his dribble left, had position, but when you look at that big 6'9" guy staring at you, sometimes it causes you to create your own mistake.
And to follow up on Okongwu, he's the younger brother of a former Chino Hills player, Nnamdi Okongwu. He played on the team 2 years ago that went to the Southern Section Open, then lost to Mater Dei, and he tragically passed in a skateboarding accident, kind of a freak accident. And so, people are pulling for his younger brother, and he's obviously giving this Chino Hills a lot. And I'm sure he kind of looks at these guys as his brothers now. He lost his own brother.
Look at the pass to Mello for the finish. If you turn it over and it finds its way into Zoe's hands, you almost know that Mello's going to leak out. Another steal.
Look at Zoe with a vision there.
And Jello is fouled by Ethan Thompson.
And Ethan Thompson a little frustrated. They're not frustrated at anybody, just that Lonzo was able to get that steal, get it to Jello, and he got a cheap foul. You got to stay at home and you got to stay disciplined against this Chino Hills team. They can run off 10 points in a hurry.
And you saw on that possession, to me, maybe one of the keys to why this team plays so well is that they pass the ball unselfishly. Scott could have taken that ball to the basket, but instead he drops it off to Jello for a little better shot. And you see that all the time with this team. They are able to find their open teammates, and they are willing to share the basketball, and that makes them really tough to guard. Timeout on the court. 3:04 left to play in the second quarter. Chino Hills up 37-33, but Ronnie, Bishop Montgomery's playing really well, and they're hanging right with the team that's probably the most difficult team to guard that I've seen in a long time.
Correct, and they haven't had the luxury of seeing them before with this unit. Some nationally ranked teams have actually played Chino Hills twice, and they got blitzed in the first meeting. Foothills Christian down in San Diego, they were losing 40-13 after the first quarter. High Point Christian out of North Carolina, they got blitzed in the first time and met them again on a nationally televised game, but Bishop Montgomery hasn't had that opportunity. And they actually stayed close, took the leader. That's a good sign for Bishop Montgomery.
A rare double miss for Leangelo. Score stays at 37-33. This is Muir. Cross-court pass goes to Thompson. Finds Shackle on the baseline, and the pass is denied.
There's Lonzo with the instincts.
Yes, underrated part of his game. He is a terrific defender.
Instinctual. And
has those long arms. He gets his hands on a lot of passes. Launches a three that's offline, but Okongwu is there but misses the putback, and it's a battle for the rebound that is won by Scott, and players fall to the floor, and let's see how Al Winters is going to sort this one out.
Eli Scott's just such a physical presence there. He gives this team so much. They didn't have him last year. They obviously didn't have the two freshman starters. It was Lonzo, and it was actually more of a ragtag group. They did have Jallo, but there was not a lot of experience, and Lonzo carried that team. This year he has more talent and more experience around him.
Out of bounds off the inbound pass, last touch by Chino Hills, so it will be Bishop Montgomery Knights basketball. 2:28 left to play. Second quarter pace has slowed down a little bit. Bishop Montgomery has led by as many as 11. Down by 4. Shackle lets fly. No. Thompson had a shot at the rebound, but Scott taps it to Lonzo Ball. Drive, and I think we're going to get a travel against Jello. One thing I've noticed about Bishop Montgomery, they're really well coached, first of all, and when I saw them play the other night, they contest every open look, and they've done a nice job of getting to Jello early so that he doesn't have a completely clean look on that three ball, and they've forced him a couple of times anyway to put it on the floor and try to create something different.
Correct. Just that extra effort to close out and get your hand up may cause them to miss a few more than they normally make. So if they shoot 40%, if that can get it down to 30, that could be the difference at the end.
Shackle, quick release. He is a pure shooter, and he knocks down his third three ball of the first half. He has 11, 37-36. Rebound is grabbed by Singleton. It's 4-on-1. Thompson missed it. Got it back and missed it again. Shackle, count it. He'll go to the line.
Bishop Montgomery working real hard on the boards there. And you talk about the perspective of this game. Chino Hills is in a dogfight with Bishop Montgomery. Bishop Montgomery takes the lead. So you say, well, how will it be at the end if it gets tight? But Chino Hills hasn't been blowing out everybody. They did win some games down at the City of Palm at the last second. They beat Montverde by 1. Lonzo Ball saved the first round game against Jefferson of Brooklyn Lincoln with 2 block shots at the last second. So they are accustomed to tight games.
Jordan Shackle hits the free throw. He's got 14 first half points. And Bishop Montgomery has regained the lead, 39-37. Minute and 20 now left to play here in an incredibly exciting first half. Glad you could be with us on ballislife.com. I think they're going to get Thompson for holding Jello off the ball. And that is going to be against Ethan. That's his second personal foul. Nobody in the bonus yet.
One thing I do notice about the game so far, Mallow hasn't got off. Freshman LaMelo Ball for Chino Hills. And when he gets going, sometimes that brings confidence to them and they start rattling off points. That just hasn't happened yet. We saw it earlier in the first game, Fairfax win, where the Ethan Anderson kind of gave Fairfax a spark. That Mallow does a little bit of that too for Chino Hills.
Kirby to Singleton. Hunt. Good ball movement by the Knights. Singleton with a floater. In and out, no good. Tip up by Tynan, no good. Strong rebound for Scott. Zoe draws some contact. That won't count. It will a couple of levels from now. Lonzo has declared his intention to go to UCLA, of course, and I'm not sure how long he'll be there. But
I think if you asked people a year ago, they might say he might need to be there a year or two. But now looking at it, he's probably one of the 3 best players in the country as far as his production and performance so far, with Duke-bound Jason Tatum out of St. Louis and Josh Jackson, who plays that prolific prep in Napa. Those 3 guys have really separated themselves as far as performance in season. Lonzo Ball is now considered a top 5 consensus prospect, and he's going to bring a lot to UCLA. Those players who are obviously more talented high school players are going to learn real fast how to get open and how to play with him, and I think Steve Alford is going to love that.
Yeah, should be very exciting up in Westwood come next year if it isn't already this year. Lonzo lets fly with a 3. His long-distance shot has not been there so far tonight. Singleton lost the handle. Scott may have traveled, threw it to nobody, and we're going to get a timeout. Bishop Montgomery. Heady play by the Knights to save the possession. Diving grab by Jalen Washington, an immediate timeout. 19 seconds left to go here in the first half, and Bishop Montgomery can play for the last shot if they care to.
See Doug Mitchell there. I haven't seen Doug Mitchell move like that in years. He runs towards the ref to get that timeout. He knows what's the stakes today, and he's going to take area advantage, and obviously his experience will help out Bishop Montgomery if this is a close game. That was a great timeout there. They get one more look. 16 seconds left in the half.
Now, for those of you that haven't seen Chino Hills play this year, you might be thinking, wow, they're somewhat underachieving. This is a team that has had a number of close games, and you've talked about that. Even the finals of the Max Preps out there at Rancho Mirage, Reggie Morris's Redondo Union Seahawks were only down 6 at the intermission. And at some point, it seems like every game, Chino Hills finds their rhythm and finds a little stretch where they outscore you 8-0, 12-2, whatever, and suddenly there's separation. We'll see in the second half if Bishop Montgomery, a well-coached, defensive-oriented team, we'll see if they can avoid those little runs that seem inevitable with Chino Hills, where suddenly you look up and you think you're playing well and you're down double digits.
Correct. Redondo shot the ball really well for 3.5 quarters. They couldn't potentially shoot any better in that game, and Chino Hills still came away with a 96-80 victory. It was a great final there at the Max Preps Holiday Classic out in the desert.
Down to 6 for Thompson. Tried to find Jalen Washington. Is the ball tipped? The referees are going to discuss it. They are going to say yes, it was tipped by Chino Hills. So with 4 seconds, just a touch over 3 seconds left here, chance, but they'll have to go quick. Singleton will have to shoot it. It'll count, and it didn't go. He couldn't duplicate the miracle from the first quarter in the second, but Bishop Montgomery has to feel pretty good about themselves. Our score at halftime, Bishop Montgomery 39, Chino Hills 37. We'll be back with halftime analysis and all the second half action when we return. Welcome back to Cerritos College. Paul Westphal, Ronnie Flores. Glad you could be with us. The game has lived up to the hype. We're at the half, and Bishop Montgomery leads the #1 team in the country, 39-37. Ronnie, but Chino Hills has earned that #1 ranking. They have played an arduous schedule. They've been all over playing top teams.
Definitely. They started out number 11 in the Fab 50 rankings and have ascended to #1. They won the Power Battle Zone tournament out in Corona Centennial. They beat a good Foothills Christian team. Then they went down to City of Palms. You see there Lonzo with the two-hand dunk. And they won some big games there. Obviously the big one over Montverde. They beat St. Patrick in the final. And then they went to Max Preps tournament and beat some good local teams. They went into the New Year ranked #1. They elevated for number 11. Obviously that national ranking gives this game a lot of extra credence, a lot of extra hype, but they deserved it. They played a national schedule, and obviously the catalyst, Lonzo Ball there. Triple-double averaging against a national schedule. Very hard to deny this team. You know, obviously the big win over Montverde. Montverde drops to #2, and Oak Hill Academy's 3 in the Fab 50. And they've only lost to a team with fifth-year prep seniors, so it's still up for grabs, that #1 ranking down the stretch, and obviously Chino Hills in a dogfight here with Bishop Montgomery. You see Lonzo through the legs, and you see there with Mallow with the 3, and that's what they're going to need in the second half. You know, this team is just unbelievable and unbelievably exciting in the open court.
It is indeed showtime at the prep level. I have never seen in all of my years of covering prep sports, I've never seen a team that plays like this, and it all begins with the talents of Lonzo Ball, his ability to pass the basketball, find his teammates, and then the philosophy, the idea that they believe in taking early open shots. In talking to Coach Steve Bake the other day, he said, you know, Paul, people say, well, that's a bad shot because it came too early in the shot clock. He said, early shots decrease the potential for turnovers or mistakes or taking a tough contested shot later on. Why shouldn't we take an early open shot, especially when you can shoot it like they do?
You see that. You see all these highlights here. They just run and they get out. Look at that jello. And let's go over some first half stats. Lonzo has 5 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, and 5 steals.
And not a particularly good shooting half, but that doesn't even begin to tell you the value of that young man. You see his vision. You see how he finds open teammates and creates opportunities for them to succeed. And Mellow Ball, the beneficiary of many of those long passes.
This is against Montverde, the win that got them on that national radar in the talking. That was the quarterfinals, and they came back and won the Patrick School final game there after beating High Point Christian Academy in the semifinals down at the City of Palms in Fort Myers. That really elevated them. That's a national tournament with many Fab 50 ranked teams, 10 I believe this year, and Chino Hills came out there with the victory. Look at that.
One of the underrated parts about this team is their defensive ability. So often, because of the way they play and the open court style, there are man advantages for the opposition where it's 4-on-2, 3-on-2. But if the two back there are Lonzo Ball and Onyeka Okongwu with their long arms, they save the day time after time with block shots or altered shots. And then when you can fill it up from deep like the Ball brothers can, it's a formula for success, and that's what's got Chino Hills to 21-0 so far.
21-0, 21-0. Look at the capacity crowd here. Standing room only for this game. Number 1 and 2 in the state, number 1 and 7 in the Fab 50 rankings.
But now let's talk a little bit about Bishop Montgomery. They came out with a game plan and they have executed it. They are not afraid to take on this team. They have played with great confidence here tonight. We'll talk more about that when we come back. We're at halftime of the 2016 Fairfax State Preview Classic. Number 1 against number 7, Bishop Montgomery. Number 7 leads it by 2. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Cerritos College. We are in Norwalk, California. We're about ready to start the third quarter of a game that has been as good as advertised. The number 1 ranked team in the country, the Chino Hills Huskies, and the number 7 ranked team, the Bishop Montgomery Knights, and it's the Knights with a 2-point advantage after the first half. Both teams had runs that got them sizable leads, but Ronnie, you've got the numbers of the first half. Balanced scoring for Chino Hills.
Definitely balanced scoring for Chino Hills. Jello Ball, the junior, with 12 points. You have Lonzo Ball with 5 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. And I think Doug Mitchell will take that. Lonzo Ball has had season highs of 36 points, 16 rebounds, 22 assists, 7 blocks, and 10 steals. So I think 5, 5, and 8, Doug Mitchell will take it. On the other end, Bishop Montgomery, they call them the Three Amigos. Ethan Thompson, Jordan Shackle, Davey Singleton. 14 points for Shackle, the leading scorer. Ethan has 10, and Dave Singleton with the 3 3-pointers for 9 points. And we're about to get started here in the second half.
39-37, national ranking on the line here, and it has been a tremendous contest in front of an overcapacity crowd at Cerritos College. I'm Paul Westfall. Alongside me is Ronnie Flores, and Lonzo Ball misses on the drive to the basket, and here come the Knights, and it's 3-on-1 the other way. Singleton, left-hand finish. Quickly back the other way is Scott, but he lost the grip on the basketball and turned it over. It would be Bishop Montgomery basketball up 4. But we saw Bishop Montgomery, Ronnie, have an 11-point lead early on, and a large lead against some teams is indeed a sizable mountain to climb. Against Chino Hills, it's just kind of a different story. You can be up 10 or 12, and it's gone in the blink of an eye. Let's see if Bishop Montgomery can extend this lead here.
Yes, they average over 100 points, so at the half, to have the number they did, 37, I think Bishop Montgomery's got to feel good about that. Nnamdi Okongwu with his 5th block of the game, unofficially.
Onyeka is quite a presence in the paint. Lonzo had the first shot blocked, second one no good, and his outside shot just hasn't been there tonight so far.
Goes back to what we said, the closeout and the discipline and contesting shots, that's the trademark of a Doug Mitchell team.
Singleton, quick catch and shoot. David Singleton has been hot. He's got 13, and the lead is 6. Good decision by Tynan that time not to challenge the big trees in the middle for Chino Hills. Got it out to Singleton for the catch and shoot. Jello splits the defenders, but his little floater won't go. On the floor, that'll count, and it goes for Jello. Count the basket, he'll go to the line. LeAngelo Ball with 14 points and a chance to cut the lead in half. Foul on Shackle, and that's something to worry about. That's his 3rd personal foul. And he immediately comes out of the game, and that is a big weapon for Doug Mitchell. He's replaced by A.J. Kirby, and the free throw is good. 15 for Jello. It's 43-40, and here comes the full court press. Broken nicely. Thompson takes it all the way to score. Ethan Thompson has a dozen, and many of them have come on athletic moves in the paint. 45-40. Mello lets fly. Back rim no good. Chased down by Tynan. First to the basketball was Fletcher. Kirby to Johnny Hunt. The freshman challenged the bigger Okongwu, but the outlet, the leak out, and the easy one for Mello.
And that's what Coach Doug Mitchell doesn't want to allow. After a missed shot, they throw a long pass and get the layup.
Tynan thought about the shot. Kicks it out to Singleton. The floater, no good. Tipped by Singleton. Athletic tip from about 8 feet for David Singleton.
And David Singleton is just a junkyard dog in there. He just keeps coming. If he misses it, he has an old school throwback mentality. You see the turnover there, and Bishop Montgomery has the momentum right now.
And they're on the run. Oh, great hesitation. Dribble by Thompson, but he couldn't get it to go. Rebound, Chino Hills. Here they come. Lonzo back to Mello.
You see the closeout there. We keep talking about the Bishop Montgomery. There it is again.
Blocked
Bishop Montgomery on the ball.
Johnny Hunt, freshman on freshman. Spin by Thompson. Okongwu with a foul.
Five-point game here with 4:58 to go. Ethan Thompson could extend it to 7 with 2 free throws.
Johnny Hunt hasn't done much offensively tonight, but I was so impressed when I saw him play the other night. He is a freshman. That is 0 as we take a good look at Ethan Thompson. But Johnny Hunt doesn't play like a freshman.
Definitely not.
He seems like, if I were to just guess and I didn't have a roster in front of me, I'd say that's a junior at least.
Johnny Hunt, it just has good vision, good intensity, and he's one of the better players in California in the 2019 class. And we're getting great experience starting here for a nationally ranked team. You can't beat that. And with the intensity, most freshmen, they are not intense enough to play at the big-time varsity level. And to play for a Coach Doug Mitchell, you really have to be locked in and ready, and that's a testament to Johnny Hunt's ability.
Thompson makes 1 of 2. Jello double-teamed, finds Okongwu, who absorbs some contact and misses. Battle for the rebound is won by A.J. Kirby. But his outlet pass under pressure goes over the head of Jalen Washington, and Huskies will retain possession. Trailing by 6, 4:41 left play in the third quarter. I'm Paul Westfall alongside Ronnie Flores, and sometimes games with this kind of build-up just doesn't quite measure up, but this one's been everything we thought it would be, and we've got 12 minutes of basketball left. Lonzo Ball missed another 3 ball, and I think they got Okongwu going over the back. Or was that on Scott instead? I think, yes, it would be on Elijah Scott. That's his second personal foul. Kirby, who's played well in relief. You might think he might be a little awed by the magnitude of the game, but A.J. Kirby's played very well. Nice pass inside, denied. Muir was blocked by Zoe.
Bishop Montgomery stays patient. They don't get rattled.
Muir again. This time I think he was a little bit worried about the defense, and there it is again, the turnover and the easy one. That'll be a goaltend against Singleton. The instincts of Mello for being a freshman are incredible. I asked Coach Bake about that, and he said, if we see that we're going to gain possession, as we take another look at the goaltend from Singleton, if we think we're going to get possession, why shouldn't somebody take off for the other end of the floor? He said, and that puts us a step ahead of the defense, and they do it time after time. Catch and shoot for Thompson off the side, no good, and rebound by Scott. 48-44, Chino Hills trails it by 4. Excellent defensive pressure put on by the Knights, but Zoe changed hands and missed it. Strong rebound in traffic by Jeff Muir.
Little uncharacteristic of Zoe. Usually he takes and finishes with those left hands, but he came up short.
Oh, Singleton, reverse layup missed, and then the rim spits out the tip. And here come the Huskies. Mello. And they're actually going to run a set here. They don't run too many plays. They run a little screen roll and maybe a 1-4 set now and then, but most of the time it's in transition. Steal by the Knights.
Not going to get away with that lazy play. And it looks like Chino Hills is a little fatiguing in this area. They're a little frustrated, made a couple bad plays. Mello Ball driving and with nowhere to go, and they close those gaps. Bishop Montgomery stays at home and is doing a good job so far.
In the 2 times I saw Bishop Montgomery play, I thought the reason they might be, very much have a chance to win this game was the fact that they really play good team defense. They help and recover. And we're going to have a timeout. Bishop Montgomery up 4. But, the young man that really had a superb night tonight and has been all season is Ethan Thompson.
Definitely. Ethan has 13 points so far. He's playing great. Averages 17.5, and he had that baseline dunk in the first half that really got the crowd going. Here's Ethan for Belmont Shore travel team, and he hits the 3 there, and he's just been a great asset to Doug Mitchell's program. He started as a freshman, and there you see he's shooting on the perimeter. He was kind of a finesse player, but as he's gotten older, he's really developed into a complete high school player, and he's having a great day today, and could be looking for the biggest win so far of the season for them. Ethan Thompson there, the junior. His dad was a dunker, considered one of the best dunkers ever in basketball. He played at Crenshaw High School, went on to play Syracuse a little bit in the NBA, but his 2 sons, Stevie and Oregon State, where he's an assistant coach, and Ethan are great perimeter shooters, and you see Ethan getting a break there on the bench.
The apples didn't fall too far from the tree in the Thompson family indeed. Superb athletes that are also excellent basketball players with high basketball IQs. And Ethan Thompson is up to the challenge of taking on Chino Hills tonight. Pressure in the backcourt. Kirby rips it from the double team and saves the possession for Bishop Montgomery. Singleton finds Muir. Reverse layup. Missed it. Rebound grabbed by Jello Ball.
And that's a shot that Bishop Montgomery needs. That could come back and haunt him later.
Mello stayed with it. Good defense, though, by the Knights. Made him give up the basketball. Lonzo Ball with that hesitation dribble. Out to Jello, who missed it. But Scott with a strong offensive rebound and a second chance. Oh, Singleton. Good play by Singleton. He anticipated the pass and tipped it away. What would have been a certain layup for Chino Hills. Okongwu. High-low to Scott. Missed it, but quickest with the second jump is Eli Scott, and he tips it in for his 12th point, and the lead's down to 2. Touch over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Bishop Montgomery led by 2 at the intermission. Singleton, short, rebound, Okongwu. Muir went up for it, but Onyeka was just a little bit longer and grabbed it over the top of his head.
1 possession game here, Lonzo.
Oh. And a terrific off-the-bounce pass to Scott inside, but he couldn't quite grab it.
And, we make that comparison. People have been talking about it on Twitter, on the internet, Lonzo Ball and Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd was strong, can get by guys with ease. Lonzo Ball is a little more instinctual, maybe on the boards, a little longer, and it's a fair comparison, but they're not really the same type of player.
Onyeka Okongwu with a monster slam in traffic, tied at 48. Whistle and a foul out of the perimeter. I think it's going to go against LiAngelo Ball. But the thing that I think is a comparison as we take a look at the strong finish by number 21, Onyeka Okongwu. Absorbed contact and still was able to finish. The vision, the ability to kind of see the game before it happens. The great passers, they're like chess masters. They seem to be about a move ahead of everybody else. Here's a steal for Chino Hills. Good job by Bishop Montgomery to get back, though, in transition defense.
And you see Lonzo Ball's close to 6'6", or about 6'6", and he's just so instinctual on the boards. He may be a better at going for the ball than Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd was so strong underneath, and he actually could dribble a lot faster than some guys could run. He just could power by guys like a locomotive. Different style, but a great comparison, and they're in a tight game here. Chino Hills now takes the lead, 50-48.
Great drive and pass from Zoe to Scott for the easy one, and Chino Hills recaptures the lead. Last minute of play here in the third quarter. Inside to Singleton. Ethan Thompson from the free throw line. Thompson hits the jumper. We're even at 50. 35 seconds left to play in the third. Okongwu high-low to Scott, but excellent reaction from Tynan to get his hand on it and save the layup.
You got to give Tynan, number 35, and number 12, Jeff Muir, a lot of respect and a lot of credit. Even Will Crawford came in and got a few big rebounds. Their role players, complementary players are doing very well, and that's why we're in a tight game here, 50-50.
8 seconds difference between shot and game clock.
Ethan there guarding Lonzo Ball on the wing.
And tipped it out of bounds, and then thought he'd see if the ref was paying attention, and Al Winters said, no, I see who hit it last. Still 8 seconds difference between shot and game clock. Lonzo Ball on the drive, hangs and misses, and Ethan Thompson's got the rebound, and here's the last chance opportunity perhaps for Bishop Montgomery. Singleton lays it up and in. 52-50, but now here's a chance for Chino Hills. We're down to 7. Mello with 4. Three-pointer on the way, no! And the third quarter comes to a close. Bishop Montgomery keeps their 2-point lead at the end of 3. They lead Chino Hills 52-50. Back with the 4th in a moment. Back at Cerritos College in Norwalk, California. Fourth quarter about to start. This is the 2016 Fairfax State Preview Classic brought to you by Ballislife.com, and everybody has been treated to a spectacular contest through the first 24 minutes. Bishop Montgomery led at the half by 2. They still lead by 2 as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. I'm Paul Westfall. Alongside me is Ronnie Flores. And Ronnie, the pace and score seem to be more to Bishop Montgomery's liking. How does Chino Hills exert their will here in the fourth?
They got to stay disciplined, and they simply got to shoot the ball a little better. Lonzo Ball, unofficially right now, is 2 for 15 from the field. They just have not gotten the ball in the basket and the easy ones they usually make against other opponents. Bishop Montgomery, a great defensive team. And another thing to watch for is Lonzo took a big spill there at the end of the third quarter. He kind of got up kind of gingerly. Let's see if he plays with the zest and zeal. He's obviously going to give it his all, but we'll just see how much energy they got here at the end.
Jalen Washington with his first shot of the night. This young man has a good-looking shot. He made a huge basket. It's 54-50, and you're noticing something about Lonzo Ball, Ronnie.
Yeah, he just looks like he fell there at the end of the quarter, and he kind of trying to get that leg loose. He'll be fine. I'm sure he's going to beat the Lonzo Ball we always know, but just something to watch for here in this last 8 minutes. If it cramps up, tightens up, you can see him kind of favoring his leg there.
Something we'll keep an eye on as Jello Ball powers his way to the basket and draws a 2-shot opportunity. Jalen Washington made a big 3 the other night when Bishop Montgomery, without David Singleton, was engaged in a grinder against George Zidane's Cantwell Sacred Heart team, and Jalen Washington came off the bench and made a monster 3 that gave them some separation. And I thought to myself, this young man is a shooter. And that's the first time we've seen Jalen Washington get a clean look, and he knocked it down. It's 54-52 after the 2 free throws from LeAngelo Ball, who has 17 to lead the Huskies.
And that's the sign of a great team. You get contributions from guys that they normally not get contributions in that situation. Obviously, it's a tough grinder to play Georgia Dow, Cantwell Sacred Heart team.
They are very physical. They make you earn every basket, that is for sure. Washington, Shackle back in the game, banks it in, he'll take it. I'm not 100% sure he was trying to do that, but he'll take the 3 ball. He had to sit out a bit with the foul trouble, but he's got 17 and the lead is 5. Lonzo can't get it to go. The rim just is not kind to Lonzo Ball tonight. Jalen Washington on the fly. Thompson kicks it out, wide open Singleton for 3. Got it!
Big shot there, Paul. They go up 8 on that three-pointer with 6:23 to go. David Singleton is playing a heck of a game here.
Great decision on the kick out to the open shooter, but Mello answers with a 3 from long range. He's got 13, 60-55. Singleton through the lane, hangs, and scores! Oh, a creative move by David Singleton. He's got 20.
And his mother jumps up in the front row, very happy with that shot.
Zoe misses, but Scott gets the rebound, keeps it alive. Jello for three. Now Chino Hills beginning to shoot the ball like they do. He's got 16, the lead's down to 4, but every time Chino Hills makes a run, Bishop Montgomery has an answer so far. Shackle for three, no. Rebound tipped up into the hands of Okongwu. Here they come. Scott.
These players are really fighting on the boards. This is a great game, great atmosphere, and with exciting ending coming.
Oh, and Lonzo cannot buy one. And it's tipped out of bounds. Last touched by Chino Hills.
Unofficially, 2 of 18 for Lonzo.
Yeah.
That's going to be the storyline of the game. They still have an opportunity to win this game, but they're going to have to execute, and they're not going to have to get frustrated that the shots are not falling.
And you know, the late, great UC Irvine coach Bill Mulligan told me long ago, he said, Paul, shooters shoot. It's what they do. If they stop doing it, then they're not helping you. And I expect that Lonzo will continue to shoot the basketball. The floater by Singleton is no good. And the rebound is grabbed by Scott. Ahead, Jello. In and out, gets it back and sticks it in the basket. 19 for LeAngelo Ball, 62-60. Shackle, left hand, no. Tip by Thompson is no good. Excellent denial by Singleton on the outlet pass. Thompson through the lane for Shackle. Gathers and fires, no good. Foul going to go against, I think, Bishop Montgomery.
David
scrapping
Singleton.
for the rebound. Singleton draws the foul.
Singleton battling there with Lonzo Ball. Singleton is really looking forward to this matchup. He's an intense player, throwback type of player. He's a player you might see on the playgrounds in the 70s and 80s, a guy who's honed his skills outside. He's that type of player, even though these kids don't play on the playground like as they used to.
Well said. Singleton, very strong upper body. He really can absorb contact, deliver the blow, and accept it as well. Chance for Chino Hills to tie or take the lead. Nice dump down to Okongwu. Soft touch for the freshman. Onyeka ties things up at 62, and that's going to bring about a timeout. 4:22 left to play in the ball game. Our score: Bishop Montgomery 62, Chino Hills 62. Back at Cerritos College. We're in Norwalk, California, and the crowd of over 2,500 has been treated to a spectacular contest between two of the top 10 teams in the nation. Number 1, Chino Hills. Number 7, Bishop Montgomery. We're even at 62 with 4:19 left to play. I'm Paul Westfall. Alongside me is Ronnie Flores. And Ronnie, if there is a sidebar to this game, it is the frustrating night shooting the basketball for Lonzo Ball. You've got the numbers.
Yes, Lonzo is 2 for 18 from the field. He has 11 assists and 10 rebounds, so he still contributes even when he's not shooting well. But we'll see what happens here in the last 4 minutes. If he gets a couple buckets to drop, it'll take a big weight off his shoulders.
Johnny Hunt with the basketball for Bishop Montgomery. It's Hunt, Thompson, Shackle, Singleton, and Tynan. For Chino Hills, it's the 3 Ball brothers, Okongwu, and Eli Scott. And Thompson scores inside, 64-62. Ethan's got 17.
And he's taking the defensive assignment. That's a sign of a good player, a great player.
Lonzo, everything but the finish for Zoe. He broke down his man off the dribble with a little hesitation, got to the front of the rim, and it just wouldn't crawl over the top. But it's tipped out by Bishop Montgomery. Fresh shot clock. Catch and shoot for Zoe. Back rim, no good. Tipped, foul over the back. Goes against Okongwu. Bishop Montgomery so well coached. They have done a great job of boxing out on the glass tonight. They have made it very difficult for a team with a lot of length. Chino Hills has some long arm guys. Here's a steal though. Jello passed on the 3. Mello won't, but he missed it. Ball is tipped into the hands of Zoe. He lost it out of bounds. Last touch though by Bishop Montgomery. We saw early, Ronnie, that Chino Hills got many multiple opportunities. One possession, they had 5 shots at it. Hasn't been that way for the last 3 quarters. Bishop Montgomery's done a pretty nice job of limiting Chino Hills to one and done. We've got a timeout. Doug Mitchell, the longtime coach of Bishop Montgomery, goodness gracious, 27 years and over 600 victories. He has had a remarkable career. And his team, over the years, they have played with great fundamentals. They share the ball on offense. They do a tremendous job guarding people. Over the years, I've been so impressed with how they appreciate the defensive side.
And as you said, 610 victories for Doug Mitchell. 600 wins puts him in the Cal High Sports record book. Very select company. He's won 5 Southern Section titles, 3 state titles. And he's very similar, like you said earlier, to Harvey Katana. He doesn't always have the elite NBA-bound type player. In fact, he doesn't have that all the time. But he has a system. They stay at home. They stay disciplined, and they wear you out.
Well, let's see if Chino Hills can answer another challenge. They have been challenged in this dream season for Steve Bake in his 6th season. 130 wins, 44 losses, but as you mentioned earlier, Ronnie, no championships yet with the Ball brothers. Got close last year, losing in the state final to San Ramon Valley, but that's their goal, to win a championship, and Zoe misses wide right this time, and that looked like a fatigue shot. 3-on-1 coming back the other way. Singleton to Thompson. Shackle trailing, missed it. Rebound, Scott. Mello. Little floater. Gets the friendly roll. LaMelo's got 18, and perhaps LeAngelo and LaMelo are going to have to take over the scoring load on a night when it just doesn't seem like it's going to go in for Lonzo. We're tied at 64. Shackle for 3. Oh, and the rim spit it out. Got to stop the ball. We're going to get a foul, a push before the contact in the paint. I believe they're going to get a foul against Tynan for pushing Zoe down the floor.
And that's what Melo Ball does great. It's kind of like Steve Nash, the Hall of Fame point guard. He keeps that dribble alive, keeps it alive in the paint, and can keep it alive on the baseline and find a cutting player. That time he shot the ball, but he's excellent at that, especially at 14 years old. You just can't teach that instinct by that kid.
He is fearless. Coach Bake told me that he plays with the utmost confidence because he knows that he's a little bit undersized and he's a freshman, and he knows that if he doesn't play with that killer instinct, players might try to take advantage of him. Well, nobody takes advantage of LaMelo Ball. Ethan Thompson doing a great job of on-the-ball defending against a very difficult guy to keep in front of you.
19 seconds on the shot clock.
Okongwu drives, hangs, misses. Scott with the rebound, sticks it back in the basket. 16 for Eli Scott. And Chino Hills has taken the lead, under 2 minutes to play. Johnny Hunt finds Shackle. Singleton. They'll reset with Hunt. 18 on the shot clock. Plenty of time for Bishop Montgomery. Thompson slices between the defenders. Left hand missed it. He was bothered by Okongwu. And here comes Chino Hills with a chance with the lead in the basketball, and that hasn't been the case since the second quarter.
They're gutting it out right now, Paul. Okongwu with his 6th block. We can't stress enough how much his defensive presence at home has helped this team all season long. 21-0 versus 21-0. Here we go, last minute of the game.
Okongwu drives, right hand runner, score the basket for the freshman. A spectacular play under the most pressure circumstances, and it's 68-64. Chino Hills by 4. Almost a must possession for Bishop Montgomery here. Singleton. Who wants the shot for Bishop Montgomery? Shackle. Back to the cutting. Thompson. Layup. No. Shackle. Sticks it in the basket, and the lead's down to 2. 36 seconds left to play. Chino Hills up 68-66 with the basketball. Shot clock is off. So Chino Hills, or Bishop Montgomery has to foul, and that's what Coach Mitchell is saying. And Ethan Thompson comes out and takes the foul Lonzo Ball will go to the free throw line. A little bit of miscommunication there as to whether the shot clock was still in play. Timeout. Bishop Montgomery. Neither team is in the bonus at this point. Both teams with 5 team fouls. Excellent point, Ronnie. So Bishop Montgomery with one more foul to waste here before they can send Chino Hills to the free throw line to try to change the possession at least.
And that's a big point there because they have to foul again. It's going to run a few more seconds off the clock. They can't just foul them and then Chino Hills going to go to the line.
Back at Cerritos College, the game of the year has been just that, the game of the year. Chino Hills and their prolific offense being held in check for the most part by a determined defensive effort by Bishop Montgomery. It's 68-66 Chino Hills. We're down to 23 seconds and they commit another foul. That gets the team fouls for Bishop Montgomery up to 6, and Chino Hills will be forced to shoot free throws on the next night foul. I'm Paul Westphal alongside Ronnie Flores. Glad you could be with us on Ballislife.com. This has been a spectacular effort, and if these two teams find a way to play each other a couple more times, it will be the basketball fans who will be the beneficiary. This has been spectacular, and Mellow Ball is fouled, and that was a good decision, I think, out of the coaching box by Steve Bake. Instead of just passing it to Lonzo Ball, who hasn't had the greatest shooting night, let's try somebody else, and they got the ball to Mellow Ball, and it will be the freshman who will have the burden of the 1+1.
20 seconds to go. 14-year-old freshman at the line. He's been there before. His older brother, Lonzo, giving him instruction on what to do on the miss or the make. Lonzo's always thinking ahead. Even though he's not shooting well, he's still quarterbacking.
Free throw. Good. A shooter's bounce and a big smile from Mello on that one. 69-66. This is the big one here. This will make it a 2-possession game. The Bishop Montgomery crowd in full throat trying to distract the freshman, LaMelo Ball. Missed it. 1-possession game. Tynan takes it all the way. Blocked. Rebound. Zoe gets it out to Mello, and Bishop Montgomery has to foul. The defensive presence of the freshman Okongwu again altered the shot by Fletcher Tynan. And the absolutely fantastic effort from Bishop Montgomery all game long is in serious danger here with LaMelo Ball at the free throw line. A free throw here pretty much clinches it, and the dream season continues for the Huskies. Good.
Interesting strategy there to go for the 2. They took it all the way. They're down 3 on that possession. They didn't look for a 3 on the wing. He took it, thought he saw an opening, but the freshman there at home.
Nothing but net for LaMelo Ball. He's got 20. It's a 5-point game, and now Bishop Montgomery has to hurry. Ethan Thompson to Tynan, who gets fouled. They'll go to the line with 5.2 seconds left to play in the ball game. It would take a miracle finish for Bishop Montgomery. And Chino Hills, a public school in this day of private schools and prep schools and the excellence that comes from those programs. This is a public school, everybody. All of the kids live in Chino, and they have answered every challenge so far, including a valiant one from Bishop Montgomery tonight. The Knights held the lead much of the night, and it looks like Chino Hills is going to prevail here in a tremendous game, and I can only hope that somehow these two teams find a way to play each other again. It would be very entertaining if it were to come to pass in the CIF Open Division.
You got to think that even if Bishop Montgomery loses this game, they should still be on the opposite side of the bracket in Chino Hills in the playoffs if they don't lose in the rest of their league games, and they should still be the number 1 or number 2 seed, you would think, and potentially meet again in the Honda Center for the final.
Fletcher Tynan hurt his shoulder and is not able to shoot the free throws, so Jalen Washington will come in and shoot the 2 free throws for Bishop Montgomery, and Jalen makes the first. But it's still a 4-point game with 5 seconds to go. Obviously, you need to make this. Got to get a steal off the inbound. Missed the free throw, and the rebound is tapped into the hands of Thompson. Shot at the buzzer. It doesn't matter. The Chino Hills Huskies have come back from a second-half deficit to keep their dream season alive. Chino Hills prevails over Bishop Montgomery in a tremendous game of 2 of the top teams in the country. Chino Hills behind 20 points from Mellow Ball and 19 from Jello Ball go on to a 71-67 victory in the 2016 Fairfax State Preview Classic, brought to you by Ballislife.com. Ronnie Flores, your reactions to a tremendous game.
Chino Hills keeps finding a way to win, even though Lonzo Ball was unofficially 2 for 21 from the field. Other guys step up. LiAngelo had some key moments. Mello with the big free throws. And we can't say enough about the freshman's intensity in the middle. Onyeka Okongwu, some big-time moments there on that last drive where Bishop Montgomery was down by 3. He got a piece of it, and that was unofficially his 7th block of the game. Great team win by Chino Hills. Bishop Montgomery, look for them in the playoffs. They're not going anywhere. They're a great team. You saw that the blueprint. If you play disciplined defense, you could hold this team under 100 points and give yourself an opportunity to win. They just didn't convert there down at the end.
And they did indeed have a glorious chance to win this basketball game. They were ahead at the half by 2, ahead at the end of 3 by 2. Chino Hills was able to find a way to grind their way to a victory, and they prevail 71-67, a fantastic effort by the nation's #1 team. And we are going to be joined by our player of the game. We're going to be joined by LiAngelo Ball, who had 19 points and just made some key baskets when obviously the normal Chino Hills offense wasn't clicking tonight with the easy baskets off transition and the long passes for layups, the steals, etc. Bishop Montgomery was well prepared for that. But this young man that's about to join us here, LiAngelo Ball. LiAngelo, congratulations on a tremendous victory, first of all. Another challenge met by this remarkable season for Chino Hills. On a night when you didn't have all of your offensive weapons clicking tonight, you made some key baskets. What was kind of the mindset at halftime? Maybe things weren't going as a normal Chino Hills game would go.
We knew we weren't going to get everything that we needed to get, and we weren't going to get the calls that we needed, so I knew we just had to come out hard and I had to make those key buckets. I knew I had to put them in regardless of the foul or not, because I know our team needed it.
Jello, talk a little bit about your brother Lonzo. Didn't have a great shooting performance, still came up with some rebounds and assists, and Mello, your younger brother, hit the free throws to ice the game. You guys got great contributions from other people. Okongwu with the big blocks, he was very big on that last possession when they were down 3 and they drove the ball. Talk a little bit about the team effort. Talk a little bit about keeping the dream and the drive alive to go through a section championship, a state championship, and an undefeated season.
We keep our drive. Me and Zoe, we bring everybody together. He just tells everybody that we got to pull it together and we got to do whatever it takes to get the win, whether it's a big block or a steal or anything else.
You got to talk about your little brother. Mello steps up and hits some big free throws down the line. He doesn't look like a freshman to me. He plays with remarkable poise. Yeah, tell us a little bit about how that comes to be. How is he so poised in the clutch?
Well, Mello been playing up all his life, so there's nothing new to him. He's been playing with us. He always played on our travel ball teams. He played 17-year-olds ever since he was a little kid, so there's nothing new to him.
Jello, talk a little bit about the playoffs and staying focused the last part of league. And, what do you guys expect? How do you guys stay focused with all this hoopla, all the Run GMC, all the undefeated season, #1 national ranking? How do you guys stay focused and take it game by game?
Well, we just got to do what we do. We just got to come out every game, try as hard as we could to get the W. We just play hard every game. We just play hard every game. That's how we're going to stay focused.
Well, thank you for the time. Congratulations, young man, on a spectacular effort tonight and a great win for the program. And good luck the rest of the way. May the dream season continue for Chino Hills. We'll all be watching. The nation is watching. Congratulations. Well, Ronnie, a terrific effort. Your final thoughts on a game that truly did live up to the hype.
Can't say enough about the team effort of Chino Hills and the effort that Bishop Montgomery gave. Chino Hills finds a way to win. They were down 8 late, and they just grind it out. They don't get down on themselves if they miss shots. And you can see that with Lonzo Ball only making 2 field goals, their best player, and obviously one of the best players in the country. They still found other ways to win. They have underrated parts, and the 2 freshmen came up big.
That'll wrap it up from Cerritos College. Chino Hills continues the drive to the undefeated season. The number 1 ranked team in the country prevails over the number 7 team, Bishop Montgomery, in the thriller. Final score, Chino Hills 71, Bishop Montgomery 67. From our broadcast partner, Ronnie Flores, I'm Paul Westfall, saying thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.